For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joe Nino and I am this year's ASI president. Unfortunately for me, I'm not able to make it to today's retreat due to prior commitments, but my fellow student government leaders and I are extremely excited that Academic Senate has decided to tackle such an important topic. To help with today's focus, ASI wanted to do something to bring more of the day-to-day student voice into the conversation. We sent out ASI's video production team into the Long Beach State campus to hear more about what barriers students face.
So let's start off with your name, your major, and the year you expect to graduate.
My name is Tyler Welsh. I am a graphic design major and I plan to graduate spring 2018.
So what barriers do you see others face here on campus?
The most common barrier I see other students facing is a lack of certainty in what it is they're studying and who it is they receive their teaching from.
Not for myself personally, but a lot of other students. I feel like gender and sexuality barriers are very big.
I've gone in the restroom a few times and I see like young girls crying, and I mean, I'm not that old, but I try to be there for them as now a senior. Been through the hardship of the struggle of finals week.
This campus is very big and could be considered very intimidating. So sometimes people don't know who to necessarily link up with or network with or talk to, or what programs will best fit their personality and their goals.
Students don't know where or when they'll be placed in their career that they choose to be successful in. And in addition to that, there's a lack of confidence in how they see themselves panning out in that career in a timely fashion.
One barrier I face is basically that when I get to the school, I have to walk all the way to 7th Street, trying to make it to my class. I'm sweating.
Parking, for sure, that's a huge one. But another one that I've experienced is CAPS. That's the one where I've been wanting to go get an appointment, but it seems to always be packed.
Also, just why do we have to pay for graduation? $46 for me to graduate? Really?
It's hard for me to think in a way that a professor wants me to think if I'm only supposed to answer questions the way that they want me to answer them.
Oftentimes professors, they just speak and speak and speak, and they don't allow students to speak.
I very much feel like I do not have a voice in class.
Another thing, this racist stuff going around at this school, ridiculous. Who knew racists lived in Long Beach? Well, there's racists everywhere, but at this school, you come here to be racist with you're not the majority. There's minorities everywhere. Look around. Minority.
I think what my professor should know that they don't know is that I do work and that I commute.
And while that shouldn't be an excuse, it's something to consider, because there are people here who have kids, there are people here who are, already in their career trying to better themselves, or people here trying to, get ahead at something that they may have started 2 years ago or 3 years prior.
Then there's the whole parking issue. Even now at 9:30, it's so busy.
Having, a cold attitude towards that isn't always the best course of action, because people are balancing and trying to figure it out just as they are. We're people at the end of the day. We're not students first, we're people.
What can LBSU do to help you overcome these barriers?
I think building a parking structure over here will be awesome.
Perhaps discussion groups, not in a classroom. I mean, we have lots of grass area.
You know how we have a mandatory sexual misconduct thing? Kind of a mandatory gender sexuality thing to go through as well.
I'd say making things personal first and foremost.
I feel yes, it's hard for the instructors to do that one-on-one with every student they have in class.
Teachers have many sections and they have careers of their own, but I think taking the time to establish who it is they're teaching before what it is they're teaching can, diminish some of those barriers. And again, I mentioned that it's hard, but I think it's also worth it, because if you know who it is you're teaching, you can better adjust yourself, your teaching style, your curriculum to the respective audience, and they could be more receiving of it. And ultimately I think that's the goal of it, not just to get it done, but to get it done effectively. And I think students need that. I feel like people are out of touch with what it is they're learning, or don't have a genuine interest in what it is they're learning, because the people who they're learning it from don't have a genuine interest in them.
We hope these testimonials were insightful for you and provided a little bit more context about the student experience here on campus. I hope you have a great rest of your retreat, and as always, go Beach.